This is Mitch, and welcome to the 1000houses.com podcast. I'm here with Nina Duran. What a personality. I love this girl. She's full of fire. She actually has a dual personality. You'll have to watch her in Bean and Cheesema one day. She's hilarious with her sidekick, but she's also quite a businesswoman. And she's here to talk about Lendio, Lendio, and what they can do for you when you need a bridge loan or some quick money to get something done. And banks are just too slow, or they just ask too many dang questions. So with no further ado, how are you doing, Nina?
I'm doing good, Mitch. Thank you so much for having me on. It's funny because you're one of the few people that I've known for at least 18 years now, 16 years now. And I just love that we're still connected. So thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, it's crazy how life goes, huh?
It really is. It really, back in the La Prensa days.
Yeah, because I used to run ads in Spanish in La Prensa, and I didn't even connect the dots until a long time ago. But I've been doing this business for a long time, and I know how important funding is. I mean, you got to find the deal or find the opportunity or get the job or whatever. You have to be able to originate some kind of work. And then a lot of times you have to fund it or you have to float it. If you're starting, you have to float the job until the company pays you in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. And sometimes that's a problem. And you have the answers to those problems. Now, most of the people on this call or listening to this listening to this podcast, they're probably interested in or already doing or doing the hell out of real estate investing. And so there's a lot of need for money always in that department. So keeping that in mind, who does Lendio, South Central Texas, who do they serve? Who is the perfect customer for Lendio?
Sure. Well, thank you, Mitch. Yeah. So as a small business owner myself and someone who's been in the family business for years, Lendio South Central Texas, that's our demo. We serve small businesses, and not only small businesses, but small businesses, like you mentioned, that are in the fight mode or in the flight mode. So a lot of our customers that come to us, again, they're different. I have some small business owners that they can't walk into a Bank of America. They can't walk into a Chase Bank because they don't have good credit score. Maybe their business took a hit during COVID, so their revenue is down a bit. Or maybe they're a new business, right? And so they just don't have 2 or 3+ years on the books. And so again, getting a traditional bank to look at them, they're going to get turned away. That is our customer. Small business owners that deal with a lot of vendors, right? So you sign a job, you get a nice little purchase order for $90,000. However, you're not going to get paid out for 60, 90, maybe 120 days, but you need working capital now. That is our customer. And so I work with a lot of small business owners that they all have different needs. And I love it though, because one thing that's beautiful about Lendio is, and you mentioned this, is we're just here. I just want to solve a problem, right? We're problem solvers. And so it's a very non-salesy process. I mentioned earlier, I was a small business owner. I am a small business owner. I know what it's like having to deal with lending companies, and it can be super frustrating. It can be very impersonal, and it can be just, you feel like someone is selling you money, right? Like someone is just trying to hard sell you. And the beautiful thing with Lendio, and what I tell all small business owners, is it doesn't hurt to look to see what's out there. And if you like what I find for you, amazing. If not, you can tell me to hit the road. And if you ever need me in the future, no feelings will be hurt. And so I don't know if that answers your question, Mitch, but again, any small business owner that is looking for funding, maybe you're out of PPP funds, you're out of emergency funds, you're trying to pay payroll, you're trying to keep the lights on, you need a bridge loan, that I can help you. And the beautiful thing too is I don't need a lot. All I need are 3 to 6 months of business bank statements and an application. That's it.
Okay, so again, so you go to apply for the loan. What exactly are you looking for? What qualifies you so that Lendio says yes? What are you looking for?
So believe it or not, a credit score around 500. I have helped someone with a credit score of 462, which is insane when it comes to business lending. As far as monthly revenue goes, you want to be making at least around $6,000 to $8,000 a month in revenue currently. And so if you can prove that for the past 6 months that you've been maintaining that, you would be an ideal client for us. And those are really the only two things, believe it or not. And as far as applying, they would go to lendiosouthcentraltexas.com, which is my website. There's an apply button and it takes 15 minutes, if that. All I need, again, is that application, and it'll prompt you for the documents to upload. Nobody gets them but me, and that's where we start our conversation. So really easy process. And the other thing too, as a business owner myself, Mitch, I do not like to waste anybody's time. Like I don't. If I know that I can't help you based on what I see, I'm going to tell you, and hopefully through my connections, I'll have someone else who can.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, a lot of times the banks don't move fast enough. How long does it take to get a loan from Lendio? If I turn in my paperwork today, and it's all what you want, and I have the credit score and I have the $6,000 to $8,000 a month revenue, how long can I expect before someone says, "Hey, here's your loan, sign the papers"?
24 hours, sometimes 12, believe it or not. I've had customers that I get on the phone on a Wednesday, they need 50 grand now, and by Thursday we've closed. So very fast. Once I have those bank statements, that's all I need. And so what people need, I guess, backing up a bit, think of me as a matchmaker, right? But instead of people to people, I'm a matchmaker between small business owners and lenders. So instead of having to apply at all these different places, people can just go to Lendio South Central Texas. They apply there, and I'm connected to 70, 75 lenders all across the nation. And so you're just one application with one person. But the really cool thing, Mitch, which I've had happen, and it happened with this one company that I had, they needed 50 grand. It was a Wednesday, submitted their app. They had their bank statements. Within hours, I started getting offers back. One was for 25,000, one was for 30. And I called the lender and I was like, hey, I'm just curious, why can't I get this 50 grand for my small business owner? What's the mix of it? Well, their cash flow is poor, this and this and this. So then I asked him, I go, if I can show proof that they have money coming in, if I can show you a purchase order, an invoice, will you maybe consider upping the amount to 50 grand? Sure, Nina, go for it. So I asked him, got the purchase order, sent it over. Within 20 minutes, we got the $50,000 offer, and it was funded that Thursday. And so that's the other really cool thing with what I do is you're not just another application. It's not like, oh, no, sorry, this was your offer. It's the best I could do. I can actually fight for my business owners, for my small business owners, and get them the number they want. So they're not just, again, another application, which is really cool.
And that's really neat. And I can't tell you how many times in my life I wish I'd have known there was a Lendio in my corner. You know what I mean? Because I missed out on a lot of things I could have made a lot of money with at the time, because you can't steal good deals in slow motion. You have to move fast when opportunity knocks.
Exactly.
You see that Corvette you can pick up for 50 cents on the dollar. It won't be there tomorrow.
It will not.
Whatever it is, whatever the product or the service, when you have a chance to do something, really great, fantastic situations don't tend to linger very long. Someone snaps them up or they evaporate somehow for some reason.
And you know what, Mitch, it's amazing how many people I've talked to, how many small business owners that deal with, and again, no offense to banks because they have their own process, right? But where you're absolutely right. Oh, I applied for funding, back in January. And I'm like, we're in April. Or I applied, I'm like, oh my gosh, why have you been waiting? Well, they needed this and they needed that. And I'm like, no. let me help you. None of that is necessary. So you're right. And on the flip end, though, I also want to let anyone that's listening that may be attached to a bank, or any bank owners or high C-level positions, if you're at a bank and you're finding yourself having trouble funding your current clients, your current customers, we could also work together. Because for me, like Lendio, I'm not here to steal anyone. I'm simply here to help. And so I currently work with so many banks here in San Antonio and across the states where, again, if they can't, whether they don't want to deal with a loan or it's too small or they just can't help them because they don't have, good credit score, that's where partnerships between Lendio South Central Texas and banks work really well, because we can keep your client happy. So if you can't help them, instead of saying, you know what, I'm so sorry, Mr. So-and-so, I can't help you, better luck. It's like, you know what, I can't help you, but I have a girl who can. So anyone listening, again, that if you're a C-level person, you're working at a bank, you need help helping your people, let me know, because I can help as well.
Yeah, this is a good plan B. So I hope you guys caught that, especially if you're out there and you're in the banking business. If you've got someone who just doesn't qualify under your terms and conditions, then instead of letting them hit the bricks and go out the door and don't, be no help to them, at least refer Lendio so that, I made a big mistake when I was looking for private money. I have $26 million of private lenders that I function off of. Like on the first of the month, I'm going to write a payment for $26 million to a whole bunch of people who loaned me a little bit of money to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going to banks and talking to them to try to cash my private lenders out so I could free up my private money so I could make another run at town to buy more houses, I was going to the banks, and when they told me no, I didn't think to ask for a referral because I thought they were in competition with each other and that they wouldn't. But that when I finally figured out to say, well, if you don't do this kind of loan, do you know which bank that will? They would tell me with no problem. Yeah, I used to work with a guy named so-and-so, and he got, when this bank broke up or sold, he went over to this bank and he's now the loan officer over there. And I know they do these kind of loans. So you may think banks are in competition with themselves, and they really are. But I think the banking community is a very small community.
It really is.
If they cannot help you personally from their bank, then they'll at least be known as a good person because they referred you to someplace
who can help you. Exactly. And ultimately, that's how they end up keeping their business, right? Like they keep their business, we get to do business together, and it's a beautiful working relationship.
Yeah, so I want everyone to go to 1000houses.com/Nina, Nina. If you get over there, you're going to get to the show notes. In the show notes, it's going to have the websites, the place to make an application, anything you want to do, so you don't have to remember any of this or how to spell any of that or anything. You can go over to 1000houses.com/Nina, Nina. All right, Nina, all my people out here, they already know the 1000houses.com/. They just need to remember Nina and they can get to you. So
perfect.
So, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope that some people find the money that they need through you. It's not always sometimes the cost of the money. It's about speed and it's about availability. I have been in 1,000 deals that I really didn't care, 8%, 10%, 14%, 18%, 24%. I didn't care. I could solve that problem later.
Exactly.
I needed to consummate the deal right now and get it in my possession. So,
if I can borrow 50 and make 100, I'm going to borrow 50 and make that 100. You better believe it.
Yeah. And so what if the 50 costs a couple of grand? I'm only going to make an extra 48 instead of 50. I'll do those deals every day. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add before maybe we wrap it up, Nina?
No, thank you so much, Mitch, for having me on. And I just also want to mention, even if you're not a small business owner, if you're a CPA or somebody who works closely with small business owners, again, I'm here to help. So if you know of someone that's in need of help, we have a beautiful referral program. And so like Mitch said, just find my contact information in the notes and let's connect. I'm excited to help.
All right. So that's a really good idea too. CPAs, they know people that need loans all the time.
Yes.
And that's a great contact. That's a great idea. All right, my friends, this is Mitch Stephen here with 1000houses.com podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by to get you some Nina Duran and to hear about Lendio and the opportunity to pick up some funds within maybe 24 hours of turning in your application. So again, go to 1000houses.com/Nina, Nina, and check it out. You never know when you're going to need this. And it might not be a bad idea to get on board before the opportunity or the crisis hits so that your paperwork and everything's already in and you're on deck. I see this all the time. People don't start trying to find the funds until it's too late.
Too late. Exactly. Exactly.
And that's a lot of pressure too. So, if you even think you're going to need this kind of money in the future, just get on deck, get on deck with your file, make sure it's straightened out. That way you just have to say, Nina, it's go time. I need 40 or I need 65, or I need 100. You got you got minimums or maximums?
Our minimum is $5,000. That's the lowest loan we can do, I believe, currently. No max.
No max?
No max.
All right. I'll take 25 million, please.
I'm on it.
All right, and I'd like to thank livecom.com, livecomm.com. If you want to see how I am keeping my houses on the market for only 4 days and how I've done that 200 and something houses in a row and how I'm using Livecom to sell my product that fast, my owner financed homes, then go to livecom.com, watch the video on the homepage, or you can go to Livecom, go to YouTube and watch my Livecom channel where I go through every feature and show you not only how to plug into that feature, how to turn that feature on or off within the system, but I also show you how I'm using that idea to make money, how I'm using it in my marketing, why I'm using it, what it costs, really, because it doesn't cost that much. It's stupid how much it costs. So check out Livecom, livecomm.com, or go to YouTube and look at my Livecom channel, Livecom, Livecomm. All right, we're out of here. Bye, Nina. I hope you make 1,000 loans this month.
Thank you so much.
All right.